This is Texans TV.
Coming up, it's more than a game for an area high school coach. Plus, it's stock report time on the Senior Bowl defensive players. Texans 360 is now.
We are ready to rock in Houston. Rock and roll. Oh, let's go!
Guess when you think you've seen it all, there's always something else.
Hello there. Welcome into Texans 360. My name's Drew Dougherty. I'm your host, and we all hope that you're staying warm, your water's running, and that you're doing okay. We're going to talk a little football today. We've got some conversations for change. Jacob Martin is palling around with the police, and John Harris, like he did a few weeks ago with the offensive side of the ball, is going to look at some defensive players. But he's doing that by channeling his inner mad money man, money-making self. It's this week's version of the stock report. Who's rising, who's falling, and who's right in line. John Harris has more.
All right, this is the stock report with me, John Harris. It's the hottest segment you're going to find anywhere. HoustonTexans.com, NFL NBC, MSANBC, FOX, whatever. This is hot stuff. And last week was sizzling hot with all the stocks I gave you from the Senior Bowl 2021 on the offensive side. So today, okay, hold on. We've got to do our defensive stars from the Senior Bowl. Come on, what do you got for me, Johnny? Yeah, okay, Jonathan Cooper, Ohio State. Hot? Yeah, I think he is. All right, here we go. Jonathan Cooper, Ohio State, inside, outside. Cooper has grown on me. I didn't really love him going into 2020. But then he down to number 0 and had a great season, went down to the Senior Bowl, was dominant. Inside, outside, spin moves, speed to power. Jonathan Cooper did a little bit of everything, and the phone keeps ringing. Billy, what do you got for me? Yeah. What? Levi who? Onwuzurike? Yeah, I got it. I know he is. Yeah. You talk about smoking hot. The guy's only worn pads for 1 day. Levi Onwuzurike from the University of Washington at 290 pounds, gets up the field, is a menace in the backfield, but he sat out of 2020. So in 1 day at the Senior Bowl, 1 day, dominated linemen, went past them, rip under, swim over, speed to power, get a little bit of everything. Levi Onwuzurike, yes, the human vowel. Wait, no, phone keeps ringing. Yeah, Johnny, again. I'm telling you, man, I'm keep giving you stuff. I can't keep giving you things. What are you giving me? What are you doing for me? Oh, yeah, Osa, not Owa. Odigizua. Yeah, he's hot. Yeah, Osa Odigizua is fantastic. Now, don't get confused because his brother, Owa Odigizua, was an edge rusher from UCLA. Osa will rush from everywhere. He'll be inside. He'll be outside. He'll play against guards. He'll play against centers. He'll do everything that you want an interior lineman to do. Now, he's a little bit light. A little bit. He needs a few more cheesesteaks in his life to get to 290. But you don't want to lose that speed and explosiveness with Osa Odigizua, the human vowel part 2. Those are 3 of the hottest stocks on the defensive side of the ball from my time down in Mobile. And you talk about hot. This thing won't stop ringing. It's so hot. Yeah, Gus, talk to me. Help me help you.
John Harris, ladies and gentlemen, he's one of a kind. And you know, he's also a coach's son. His dad coached high school ball for a long, long time in the state of Texas as well as the state of Wisconsin. So it's perfect for us now to segue from John to a guy who really does a great job, a fantastic job, so good a job that he was named the Coach of the Year. It's more than a game. We head to North Shore.
It's going to be ones. We got to get in shape. We got to find a way to start going through some energy. We got to start playing some football the way we're capable of playing, so that's not the way we leave this game in possibly your final home game in this stadium. Okay, we've got to come together and create some juice out there. Because it's not going to be good enough. It won't be. So come together and start creating some energy. And don't play by the scoreboard. Play by the standard that you've set.
My name is John Kay. I'm the head football coach at North Shore, and I serve as the district athletic coordinator for Galena Park ISD. Yeah, I think mine's a little unique in the state of Texas in that I've been here my entire career. So I graduated from Concordia University in Chicago in 1996. I'm from Detroit originally, and after graduation went back to Detroit, sending resumes all over the country, but I wanted to come to Texas. I wanted to coach Texas high school football. And as it turned out, I lucked out. I ran into a guy that I grew up with, and he had been down here and met a guy that was at Cunningham Middle School, which feeds North Shore down the road. Became the assistant head coach in I think 2008 or 2009, and then took over as head coach in 2014. So my lineage as a coach has been right here at this school my entire 25 years.
Turn around. Hey, let's go. It's 4th and 10. We got hips, hands on the hips, people dragging. Let's go. Let's finish this thing.
You know, I'm an educator first, and I think that's what's the beauty of Texas high schools is that all of our coaches work in the schools. They're employed by the schools, whether they're a classroom teacher or they're a paraprofessional, they're here. And so, you know, for me, I take a lot of pride in being a teacher first, and I think the best coaches I've ever been around are always the best teachers. And so those go hand in hand. And so for me, it was an opportunity to teach and to continue my life in the sport that I grew up in and loved. And you know, an opportunity that I've seen is you know, athletics in the public schools are the best at-risk program that we have, and I believe in that, and I believe in you know, things outside of football and making sure that academics necessarily don't get in the way of a kid's education. And there's a lot of teaching going on in basketball, in choir, in band, and these extracurricular activities, and that's the beauty of Texas. I think it's not just the athletic programs that are strong, it's the extracurricular, the fine arts, and then the curricular. And so as an educator, I think you know, being a coach gives us that bigger opportunity to truly make an impact on the lives of students.
The call on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
North Shore has won the state championship on a Hail Mary on the final play of the season.
Yeah, it's a special time without question. I mean, obviously we knew we were talented, but you know, talent alone in the city of Houston isn't going to get you all the way. I mean, there's a lot of talented teams, and so I think it was the grind of a 16-game season, which is the reality here in the state of Texas, which is essentially an NFL season. I think it catches up with people, and I think the maturity of our kids and the maturity of our staff to get our kids past that point where you hit that wall, which everybody does, I think was pretty special. So, you know, despite the talent that obviously we had great kids that were God-given talent. I think our staff did a great job of developing them and developing those intangibles like leadership and work ethic and beliefs and taking care of their bodies away from the game and the things that are necessary in order to win that many games and in order to make it through. So, you know, it started in 2018 and that was a magical season, ending with the Hail Mary in the state championship game, and then you know, to turn around and do it again in 2019, I just think is testament to our staff and their kids, and more than anything, our parents and our community that have done nothing but support these kids and make sure they have every opportunity to be successful.
Hey, you get trips open, look for sprint draw, all right? This is draw. It looks like bees, all right? No, I'll do this. Draw, okay? Get that trips open, look for that draw, okay? Let's go.
I'd like to share our 2020 Houston Texans Coach of the Year, presented by Houston Methodist, and is none other than John Kay of North Shore High School.
I mean, incredible honor. Obviously, you know, you're talking about the Houston Texans, and that's the pinnacle of football in the city of Houston with the NFL franchise and what they're about. And I think that's the most important thing, to have a franchise like the Houston Texans and their history and what they're about, and to be named or recognized, you know, obviously is a tremendous honor for our community and for our school and for our coaching staff. And I'm very proud to represent all those entities when you get this kind of recognition.
After the break, we're looking back at the special teams highlights from 2020. Texans 360 rolls on. Texans 360 is presented by Kroger, fresh for everyone. Welcome back to Texans 360. Drew Doherty, your host. And you know, in 2020, John Weeks broke the record for consecutive games played and really most games played in Texans franchise history. So naturally, number 46 is part of the top 5 special teams plays from the past season.
We have men going out to midfield for the coin toss, and one of them, John Weeks for the Texans, about to play in his 170th game for Houston, a new franchise record.
All right, my guy.
Here's the punt. Olszewski calling for a fair catch, and the sun is out. With the sun in his eyes, he makes it at the 16-yard line.
Congratulations to Texans long snapper John Weeks, playing today in his 170th game, a new Houston Texans franchise record.
Kickoff short at the 2. Hilliard at the 5, 10, and they flip the ball right side. Owens at the 20, 25, 30, and Owens takes it across the 35 before he's pulled back. This is nice as Jonathan Owens takes the flip from Hilliard as the Texans get a good return out of it up to the 35.
That punt is blocked. Ball is loose. Texans recover. Buddy Howell, number 38, getting a piece of it.
He gets there so fast, he almost overran it.
Fake punt, McCarron, the personal protector, throws downfield, and he's got a man, Stevie Mitchell, knocked down at the 33-yard line of Tennessee. So they'll go with a 27-yard chip shot. The snap is down, it's blocked, and the Texans try to pick it up and advance the ball. They have it at the 21-yard line. The Houston Texans special teamers come up with a play.
When we return, Texans ambassador Cecil Shorts III checks out a local historical landmark in honor of Black History Month. We're back. We're glad you are too. This is Texans 360, and you know the Houston Texans are celebrating Black History Month all February long. So with that in mind, one of our many features that we're going to roll out on HoustonTexans.com takes Cecil Shorts III, our good pal and former Houston Texans receiver, to a local historical landmark.
I grew up in the church, a member of the church as a child and as an adult. I've been here all my life, really. And my great-grandfather was the first pastor of the church, Reverend Jack Yates. This church started in 1866. It was maybe 6 months after the slaves in Texas had been freed. Wow. It was a small church which began actually over on the Buffalo Bayou. I think it moved here in about 1875 in this particular location. My great-grandfather, his brother, and others, they built the church.
Oh, they physically built the church
They
themselves.
physically built the church themselves.
That's impressive.
They built these pews.
So these are the original pews?
But these are the original pews.
Oh, that's amazing.
So this was the first church that people of color, period, decided to develop and build for themselves in this city. And the first brick building that was ever built by African Americans was this church. The stained glass windows, these that are in here now, were put in back in the 1930s when the church was remodeled. I remember when we first put up the Jesus Save sign that Some of our neighbors didn't like it because by that time, all of the area around us was business. So some people did not like the idea of the sign, but it's still there.
Why didn't they like the idea? Just to take away from their business? Or
I guess, I don't know.
They didn't want people to feel some type of way?
They just didn't, they thought that it was a distraction. And in 1872, he, along with the Reverend Diddle, who was the pastor at the Trinity United Methodist Church, began a campaign to buy some property which is known today as Emancipation Park. And Emancipation Park was bought because there was no place for, again, the African American community to go in order to celebrate their freedom, which they loved to celebrate, which was Juneteenth. That property was bought to really allow them to have a place for recreation. It was actually the first park, period, in the city of Houston. And it was the first park actually in the state of Texas.
Really?
Really. Don't think that there have not been many attempts to have the church move.
I believe, yeah.
That, not the church itself necessarily, but people around the church wanting the church to move so that it could be used, the property could be used for something else.
Was anything else, like parking lots or
whatever.
Different ideas they had?
Yeah, whatever ideas they had. After I got out of high school, that was when developers started coming in, buying up all the property around us. The membership just really had to be strong in its belief that this church had a right to be here. We had no reason to leave. We own the property, we own the church. Where are we going? What are we leaving for?
After a quick break, it's more Conversations for Change, the best of from 2020.
This conversation tonight is a collaboration between the Houston Texans organization and some students that are a part of GH PAL. Students have questions for the adult panelists regarding relational policing and social injustice.
I tell our officers, look, don't listen to just a small percentage of people. Listen to the positive people. But on the backside of that, when one of us does something stupid and violates somebody's rights, it's a reflection on all of us. So everybody's perception is their reality, okay? So we have to understand, especially young people of color, what they're seeing and what they're feeling and what they're hearing from their friends, who've been mistreated by police officers. So we have to address all that, but at the same time, understand that it's still a noble cause.
I think that all great relationships start, with simple discussions and conversations like this. Being a professional football player, I can use that as leverage, to open doors for us to have these open dialogues with the people that we need to have these dialogues with.
When you talk about prejudices, and especially when you're not talking about harming someone else, I really think the person that holds those prejudices, they're the ones that lose out. They're the ones that miss out. Like yourself, somebody sees you and they're like, I don't like Hispanic people. I don't like brown people. They don't know that they're coming across a future leader of the world, and that's going to hurt them.
I'm so impressed with the questions and the dialogue, the level of intelligence. So I know that we have future leaders, community leaders,
yes.
Business owners coming from PAL. And I thank the Texans organization for supporting us.
Texans 360, presented by Kroger, rolls on. We're happy that you're with us, Drew Dougherty, your host. And before the season started and into the season, Houston Texans had conversations for change. Here are a few of the best of those conversations for change. Enjoy.
So you've been an agent of change.
Look, I've been in it, a part of it. I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly.
And you were recognized as a leader from the beginning, from early on.
Well, what I've discovered, Ms. McNair, is relationships matter. It's easy to be against what you don't know and who you don't know. But once you come to know one another, you come to find out that the same things that'll make you cry are many of the same things that'll make you laugh. And it's pretty universal.
And I said, and they said, well, what is it that your community needs? And I said, food. And he was like, food? And I said, I speak of food literally and metaphorically because, you know, we call it soul food. We call it food for the soul. And what it is not just being able to feed our children before they go to school, because we know the studies show you can learn more, you're gonna have a better day, you're gonna grow up healthier, you're gonna do amazing things if you can just have breakfast every morning. You know what I mean? But at the same time is what truly fuels your soul? Knowledge, like we talked about, knowledge is power.
The black race has been at the bottom of the totem pole for 400 years, and that's not gonna change overnight, all right? But if we get everybody doing a little bit, positive change, positive work, now then we can make that change, you know? And hopefully it will not be another 400 years of the same old, because in the black population, that's what it seems like it is. It's the same old, same old.
My word would be to those potential allies was 1, intellectual curiosity, 2, equip and educate yourself. See, I know the timeline. I know the timeline of this country. I'm not living in a mythology. We need to have conversations around facts and history. And once we have those conversations, then the next step is, then what do we do about it?
That's it for this week's show. We appreciate you watching. And if you like what you saw and want some more, go to HoustonTexans.com or the Houston Texans mobile app. And while you're there, check out the podcast In the Lab, hosted by myself and John Harris, because it's all about the draft, both the current one and an interesting historical one. That's going to do it for the show. We thank Tyler Marcotte for putting this together, and we plan on being in the Ford Studios next week and not in the upstairs living room of my in-laws. Thank you, Joe and Mary Jo Montalbano. Until then, go Texans. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to know when we post new content.